So a bit of that New Zealand media coverage seems to be the exact same as what we've seen here in Canada. So I'm going to bring in, we got Azian and Sunny. Hello, Azian. Welcome.
Hey, good morning, or what time is it in Canada?
Okay, so I'm on the eastern coast in Toronto. It is 5:15 p.m. So just evening right now. So you're probably well
okay,
into.
good evening, Nico. Hi, good to see you.
Yeah, so you're
Kia ora from New Zealand.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're already into Tuesday, right? The 22nd. So that's
That's right. Right, it's 11:15 in the morning.
Okay, so amazing. So we finally got some updated media coverage of the protest there. It says day 14. So you guys are 2 weeks into the occupation. So tell us a bit about how that's going. It's unbelievable. It's amazing. So yeah, share with us.
Yeah, well, by the looks of things, it's been just really steady. And over the weekend, the numbers nearly doubled down at Parliament. A lot of people camping there permanently. A lot of cars are parked. But it looks like things have changed a bit since yesterday. Yesterday morning, the police turned up at 4 a.m. and they put in some concrete roadblocks. And this morning again, yeah. And what they're trying to achieve is that people can actually leave, but they can't come back. So if you had a car in there, you're allowed to leave, but you're not allowed to go back. So I think they're trying to it's like a one-way. People can get out, but they can't come back in. Yeah. And this morning, there's been like a false flag attack. There was like a car, and they say it was a protester that was driving it into the police, but it looks really fake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, as you can probably hear, the protesters are being very vocal behind us this morning, and that's because police moved in. They came down Molesworth Street at around 6:10. There was easily more than 100 officers carrying shields. Now, they moved the concrete barriers and the protesters that met them face to face down Molesworth Street towards Aitken, down where the Portaloos are. They've now actually formed a line along Hill Street and back on Molesworth, but they're very peaceful at this stage. Protesters are coming up to them. They're very upset, they're crying, and they're begging them to leave. But what was most poignant out of the whole morning was when a car, one of the protesters' cars that is, came straight through a police line and into the crowd. And that just broke into absolute chaos. Police dragged the person out of the car, pinned them to the ground, and then took them away in cuffs. But everything's died down very quickly after that. The police then moved out. They went up Hill Street, back into the back of Parliament, and things have stayed relatively peaceful since. There's now just a small line of officers on Hill Street, a small line on Molesworth, and things are pretty much back to how they are every other day for the last 15. Protesters are gathering at the front line here, shouting, yelling, banging their hands on the barricades, as you can most likely hear. That accompanies whenever Trevor Mallard is speaking through the loudspeakers. So I suppose we'll have to wait and see throughout the rest of the day how this will pan out.
Let's wind it back, because we had the exact same thing happen. Yeah. We had the cement roadblocks come in and start blocking off the streets. We had a false flag with a vehicle. Supposedly one of the truckers was caught with 2,000 guns and ammunition. So another false story. So what's the vibe been like before all this police,
The vibe has been quite peaceful. And this morning was the first time the police turned up with riot gear, with shields. So we seem to be following like 4 days behind what goes on with you guys.
Okay,
you can
so
almost predict.
They are geared up.
After you guys have gone through something in Canada, our government seems to follow.
So how closely are they following it? Do they? Because we had to go through a War Measures Act to be somewhat passed by Trudeau to an emergency act. So he had to invoke an emergency act to get the police and the riot gear to come and clear our Parliament Hill, which is also on Wellington Street, right? So
interesting.
Did your government have to pass any War Measures Act or emergencies policies to be able to do this? No, so they just sent them
our government seems to just be using overreach, and just does whatever it wants at the moment. And there's they don't have to pass any laws, or they're not doing anything like that at all.
Well, I mean, they passed like those COVID legislation, which pretty much gives them free rein to do whatever they want anyway. Yeah. So, including entering people's homes and pulling people out to quarantine them. And I think as far as destroying a home if they deem it contaminated and stuff like that. So they're pretty much, it's a dictatorship.
Yeah, the same over here. We are witnessing full-on martial law in our capital. People aren't even allowed to step out on the street to go walk and get a coffee. You know, it's ridiculous. The police, it's a full-on police state, and they're bullies. One of their chats on WhatsApp was leaked and is going around our nation, showing them mocking and laughing at us. They trampled a native woman with a horse when they came in on foot. So do they?
We've seen that. We've seen it. That was terrible to watch. It was very, very sad to see that. Really sorry to see what's going on over at you guys' place.
So, and again,
but it seems it's similar here now. Police has really. It was very clear the protesters are peaceful. They're trying to remain peaceful. Yeah. But of course, things get heated, and the police come and they push. Hey, they just keep pushing. And today's the first time they turned up with riot shields.
No way.
And they just kept pushing people back. And there's women, there's children down there, and it's been extremely peaceful before police.
The vibes have been amazing. Let me tell you, the last 3 weeks in Ottawa before the riot gear came into effect, it was the best 3 weeks of my life. It restored my faith in people and humanity again. I thought people were lost, but we witnessed the most magical, special moment, and there was no
love watching all your dancing and the singing. Yeah, beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, so we have the proof that there was zero justification for war measures to be invoked and to have riot gear enforced on peaceful people that with children, that were feeding the homeless, that kept the city and all the monuments clean, as the cleanest they've ever been. Right. So did you have the same the vibe and celebration and you know, community coming together? Did it become a give nation? Like, people didn't even think about money anymore. Money was just given to truckers. Food was being made and given in mass amounts. It was beautiful.
Same.
It's the same as in Wellington.
Just turning up, lots of people helping, people keeping the place clean and safe. There is a group that is in charge of security, and there's things for children. There's places where children can play and are educated. There's art and craft going on. There's music. There's bands. There's medical center, first aid place, all of it.
So
and food,
just lots of
so much food. It's not funny. Like,
So people are,
and the mainstream media, absolutely, they describe it as a you know, violent or untidy and unsafe for children, but it's absolutely not true.
It's the safest you've probably been, and everyone's like, being
all the kids are safe.
Same thing.
And the other thing was, they early on in the occupation, I'm not too sure if you know, but the government, they've been quite childish. So they've been playing what's the name of that song?
They've been playing Macarena and Baby Shark from the loudspeakers at Parliament, and they turned the sprinklers on.
And they turned the sprinklers on
to try and get the protesters to leave by turning sprinklers on. I mean, you know.
Oh wow, and that's coming from the government, from the Parliament building. Okay,
that's the Parliament Speaker of the House.
The Speaker of the House blasting Baby Shark and
and COVID ads.
To drown out the people. Yeah.
Okay, so
really childish behavior.
So now we can confirm that you guys have had pretty much the same vibes and love and peace that we had here. So now there's no justification for what you said is now police showing up in riot gear and shields now, and the government turning on sprinklers. So again, their actions are illegal and are crimes against humanity.
Absolutely.
Wow. So again,
well, it's shameful, right? And our Prime Minister continues to refuse to talk to the protesters, making out that they're not part of the New Zealand. I don't know, not part of New Zealand, the team of 5 million.
So some of the actions that were taken here, once certain measures were invoked, but not technically passed through Parliament, so they've suspended Parliament. So we know that everything they did was absolutely illegal and unjustified. So they were able to arrest people for honking horns. They were able to arrest people and confiscate gas and diesel that was being brought in to keep the trucks running and keep them warm. Firewood was taken. And then once the War Measures Act got passed, they gave everyone letters and basically a warning, say, get out or else, was pretty much it. Again, this letter wasn't properly letter-headed, wasn't signed by any official. It was just like anyone could draw it up and print it up and stick it everywhere. So it wasn't an official document per se. It might have had the Ottawa Police logo on it. That was about it. So after that was given out, they came with some force, started arresting people. They came with the tow trucks. They started smashing truck drivers' windows in. And arresting people.
Wow.
So the force was insane. So now, it's just like, I want to be able to warn you guys. You say, I don't know how the organization is over there. Is there any specific leaders of your convoy over there that organized this and pulled this together, or?
Yeah, unfortunately, we have multiple groups down there, and they're not very cohesive at the moment.
Right.
Even though there seems to be peace and organization, in the community down there, leadership's lacking.
Right. There's no structure, right? There's no structure to
no
get
structure.
what the purpose of us doing this is, to get mandates removed across the board, right? So it's one thing to occupy.
Some people say it's not only ending the mandates, but it's actually the whole government overreach needs to stop.
Yeah.
And there's people, obviously, there's people for various issues. Some people are there to protect the children. Some people are there to end the mandates. Other people are here to protect land and water as well. And so there's all these different groups, and I can see how that is an issue, not having a cohesive structure in place. But people have been self-organizing, but that's very hard and almost not enough going against the police, which is obviously a complete structure.
We can see it in the lives. The disorganization, when the police act, the people are not structured. They're just chaotic. So they're arguing amongst themselves. They're arguing with the police. Some of them are trying to say, "Oh, leave the police alone," and then some of them are trying to attack the police. So it's that part. That's the part I think that needs leadership.
So the similar to us, the organization was not there. There was no structure. The supposed organizers, I never saw them or met them once. They were never seen outside. They were just hiding in a hotel. They did raise a lot of money. That money was then frozen, suspended through the GoFundMe. So I'm not sure if you guys also have any.
We heard about that, and also that some bank accounts got frozen now.
Bank accounts have been frozen, but I feel like there's a little fair propaganda behind that, because certain people told me that, yes, their bank account was frozen, but then returned to them a couple of days later. So I feel like you said, the government knows that we're after them. We know, and we are onto their corruption, and that we want to not just remove mandates, but remove this type of tyranny, and they don't want to lose their power. So they are doing anything they can to attack, to silence, to censor, to prevent this. They're using any loopholes they can, illegal loopholes too, with riot gear and police and fake war measures, so on peaceful people. So they're definitely going to put up a fight and protect what they have.
It felt like that, like yesterday morning when they turned up at 4 a.m. That's it's really sneaky, right? When most of the people were asleep in their tents, turning up at 4 a.m. So there must have been a call, and people got up as fast as they could, but everyone was really half asleep. And there was the police bringing in all these concrete blocks. I think it was like a test, and they saw that our people are not particularly organized, and then they turned up again this morning, a bit later, I think at 7. And again, just harassing and pushing them around. And then that false flag, that car, it looked so fake. And there was already police in place, and that car came essentially from the police ranks and was meant to be a protester trying to drive into police, and it just doesn't look right.
They're doing everything.
I assume they are going to try this more and more to wear people down, provoke
what
them.
They're doing is they're gaining the trust of the nation through the media to say, look, these people are doing so much bad stuff, to justify what they're about to do is send in the riot police to break some trucks, to arrest some people. Some of these arrests are legal. The people that did get arrested were not literally like charged. They were taken and dropped off 15 minutes down the street and said bye, and then it's like, what the hell? So most of them walked back.
Fear.
Yeah, most of them just walked back into town and says, yeah, I was arrested, but they didn't even charge me with anything or give me any paperwork. So again, it was all for the cameras so that the news could show, look, we're showing force. The police are there. They're arresting people, but the people watching don't know, oh, these people are in jail or not. And said, no, there's no charges at all. So some people were charged, mind you, but again, most of it was fear propaganda just to gain the trust of the nation so that when they see the government's force, that they'll clap and be like, yay, they got rid of the bad guys, right? So again, you're going through
I think it's going to be very, very similar here. Now that there's some footage of actual clashes, they're going to say it was the protesters that started it, but it was very obvious in the lives that it was the police that is starting it. They're turning up, they're acting like bullies, they're pushing people around. And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to provoke the protesters, so they've got some footage to show that the protesters are violent. And there's people saying, stay calm, stay calm. Yeah.
So I hope.
How's it going over there now, though?
Yeah.
Oh, honestly, I feel like, everything. Okay, there's lots of pros and cons. Like that specific ship seems to have now sunk. The hill was given up. People, we held the line for 3 weeks, but it took them 2 days to clear it. They had full riot gear, helmets, gas masks. They had tear gas. They had loud noise explosives to scare people. They had mace and pepper spray. People with pepper spray. There were rubber bullets fired. They had snipers on the roofs. But the news would show it, and the media was like, "Oh, we got people with binoculars looking down," even though they had the drone flying around. So there were no people on roofs with binoculars. They were snipers. It was insane. The layout, a full-on war zone. So it was just a 2-day push. They started down at the bottom of the hill and worked their way up, and it was done with by the second day. So, and people were peaceful throughout. The anthem was sung. The people was trying to hug the police and say, "We love you," but they didn't really fall for it, and that was it, because we don't even believe they're Canadian troops. We've seen United Nations planes close by that have landed in the recent days. So what are you guys thoughts on the police? Are they from New Zealand? Are they from Wellington or other towns, or are they from other countries? Could it be Chinese military? Have you seen anything shady like that?
At this point, it looks still like mainly New Zealand police. I
Okay.
haven't seen anything that would suggest otherwise, but they're pulling in police from all over the country.
Same here.
I think
So
there's about 1,000 police down in Wellington now. And they're definitely not all from Wellington.
And all the police, do they
everywhere.
still carry their badges from their precincts or wherever they're from? Do they still have their numbers and names? Because we had that, but the riot police that came in on the second day, they had no identities. They were masked up. They had these green overalls on, no badges, no labels, no numbers. And United Nations all the way has been exposed here in Canada.
Yeah, they're really sorry to hear that. No, they're still wearing police uniform, but it looked like today there was definitely people saying they don't have badge numbers. They didn't wear hats. That I think people have commented that while they were kind of peaceful, they're wearing hats, but today and yesterday they turned up without the hats.
Yeah, they got a
Which
different
means
kind
they're ready. They're ready to engage, right?
of.
Yeah, I mean they didn't come in like overalls and green and or masks. I mean they're wearing their regular face masks, obviously.
Right.
But came with riot shields for the first time today. So I would expect that this is going to continue. It's certainly shown up weakness in the structure and in the setup of the protesters, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And what kind of numbers are we talking here with the occupation there in Wellington?
It's hard to estimate, hey?
Yeah,
few thousand.
it fluctuates.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Okay.
it looks like
I'm
around
guessing
about
for the
4,000,
week.
and then in the
4 to
weekends it blows
10,000,
up
and in weekend it doubles to up to nearly
Yeah.
20,000. Yeah.
So a lot
20,000
of
on
people have
weekends.
come from the country. Has it got? So it's definitely getting media attention. I just seen some of it. So are people coming and seeing
Yeah.
for themselves that there's nothing bad or racist or illegal happening?
Yeah,
It's people.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing
Super
here.
peaceful. Everyone who goes and checks it out, comments on how clean it is, how tidy, how peaceful, and how well
Right.
organized.
Yeah.
And so
Unbelievable.
best things is to follow some live. So we've got a few people that are doing regular live updates. One is the Daily Examiner New Zealand. They are
The
reporting
daily-
like really neutral, unbiased. And then we have Chantal Baker, who is regularly doing lives, and her dad, Leighton Baker. And
Okay.
they
Where
are
are they
doing
doing
very
these lives on the YouTube?
On the Facebook.
on Facebook. Yeah.
Okay, let
So
me type in some of these. So what was the first one you mentioned?
the Daily Examiner New Zealand.
The Daily Examiner.
They've got several unbiased reporters just
Yeah.
showing what's actually happening
and-
on the ground.
And they interview people.
It's New Zealand, the Daily Examiner New Zealand.
got
I
New
think there's
Zealand
an
in it.
Australian
Okay.
one as well.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna make sure because honestly, I don't want to like be the bearer of bad news, but it seems like
Facebook.
yeah, you guys had the exact same thing happening. I'm not sure how aware your protesters and organizers are, but yeah, the police are going to move in and show some type of force, and yeah, it's all seems to be going down. So again, it's the Daily Examiner.
Absolutely.
So again,
Absolutely.
I'm praying and making sure you guys also stay safe, right? And just there's nothing more I could do or give you, but the information and the rundown of everything that happened here and the reason why it went down. And honestly, everything that we're sharing here is basically spit and image identical, right? So
Exactly.
Daily
Exactly.
Examiner New Zealand. So I'm gonna make
Yeah.
sure
Yeah, we pray. You guys are in our prayers too.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. And the other one then is Leighton Baker.
Leighton.
Chantal Baker.
Leighton, Leighton.
Oh, Leighton. Okay, I wouldn't have got that.
Leighton.
Baker, Baker, Leighton Baker.
Yeah.
These guys are all on New Zealand Facebook, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna
and his daughter Chantal. His daughter's name is Chantal Baker.
And Chantal Baker.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're doing regular, every day, several live updates. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure if we find either one of the two, we'll find all the rest. So
Definitely.
David Examiner, New Zealand, Leighton, and Chantal Baker.
Chantal
Okay.
Baker. Yeah.
Because it's going down. Canada is going to definitely stand with you and support you guys. It's amazing that we were able to inspire something like this, and amazing that we were able to experience humanity coming together, and so happy that you were able to do the same and experience and see, because obviously I never really experienced anything like this in my life. What about you yourself and Sunny over here? Has it been one of the most unique moments of your life, a historical moment, right?
Yeah, of course. And we're going there tomorrow again. Yes.
We're going to be going down there tomorrow.
Yeah.
So if you're
okay,
if you're
So we'll
available,
be,
you could do a live with you if you like.
Yeah.
Okay, that would be amazing. I'd love to show.
Yeah, how about we come on tomorrow sometime again and show you actually from down there what is going on.
That would be amazing. We got people here saying remember hookah, so I'm guessing that's the warrior Humate.
The
haka, yes.
The haka, there you go.
Yeah. We'll try and get someone to do a haka for you. A haka for Canada. How about that?
Yeah.
Find someone to do one for you tomorrow.
I know exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm sure the haka is going to be performed while you hold that line. That would be beautiful to see. I'm sure people have mentioned that it's already been happening. So yeah, the haka, unbelievable. The true warrior dance. So yeah, so Finbar saying Canada is the testing ground for the rest of the world. It could be anywhere. It could be China. It could be Australia, because we know Australia was one of the first to go through some new world order, right? They just got totally walked over, and it seems like Canada's now here. Yeah, I said that ship has sunk, but we are gonna rise and respond like no tomorrow. Like again, this is David versus Goliath, and now we're gonna have to start picking up that stones.
But we all know how that fight ends, right?
Yeah, exactly. So Goliath has shown itself. It is some new world order tyrannical government. It isn't just here in Canada. It's very mirrored over here in Wellington, New Zealand. We got much love and aloha to my Maori ohana, says Naomi. There you go.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so we got lots
Too
of
much.
people from all over. So Alina says she's loving these streams. So yeah, Azzy and Sunny. So tomorrow is, you said you're going to be there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, unbelievable. So tomorrow, you meaning like Wednesday or Tuesday, your day now?
That will be our Wednesday, your Tuesday. So it'll be a bit later than now.
Yeah.
We
Are you
will,
sure there's going to be time
maybe
for
in
that?
another hour or two, I'll be in touch, Nico.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that
probably just after lunch will arrive.
So
Just
I'm going to
after
be
12.
Yeah, I'm going to be making sure to add those channels and keep watching those lives, because like I said, it could happen any day. And if you said, oh, you said it was
Exactly.
this morning, today, Tuesday, that they showed up in riot gear. Okay, so the push has begun. So yeah, you're right. Your Wednesday, they're definitely going to show some more force. I'm going to be keeping in touch with you, praying. This is wild times, but again, the pros that we have got out of this, no hard feelings if they do reclaim the hill. It's okay. What we got over here is so much positivity. There's still people down there at the war memorial just outside of the city, still holding it down, showing that, yeah, you can push us out, but you can't keep us down. We've inspired a whole world. There are now millions now that have joined and want to be a part of this freedom movement, right? Of join the resistance, right? So the next phase is definitely going to just be something that's going to be bigger than ever, against a tyrannical government that is 100% shown their true colors now. And hoping that New Zealand is awake, or will wake up when they see the illegal force that is inevitably going to be shown in Wellington in the next coming days. So
So we'll definitely keep you updated, and hopefully we can come again on a live tomorrow, live from Wellington.
Please. Yes. And True North Storm
showing
says,
you
we
how
love
it's
the
actually
Kiwis.
going.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
we love the Canadians. Hey, you guys rock.
Thank you so much. So I'll leave you guys to your day. Thank you for coming on and sharing. Hopefully some of the information I was able to give you can help out. So I know you guys are definitely busy now. And yeah, I'll be talking to you guys soon. So much love to you and Sunny.
So much love to you guys too.
Thank you, Nico. Take care.
God bless you all.
Yeah. Bye.
We love you, Canada.
Unbelievable. So that's beautiful. Asian and her lovely husband, Sunny. Asian, they are the founders of the Arthur Resistance group in New Zealand. So the resistance is uniting. As you know, we've been speaking with Resistance Great Britain and now Arthur Resistance New Zealand. So unbelievable stuff we're hearing coming straight out of New Zealand. The riot police have moved in on day one now, and tomorrow's going to be a exact replica of what happened on the weekend here in Ottawa. Unbelievable. So we're going to be praying and giving as much help and direction and support for our Kiwi brothers and sisters in New Zealand.